everybody, and welcome back once again to Let's Play Motorsport Manager with the Phoenix Knights Racing Team. Oh, it's been a while, hasn't it? Yes, indeed it has. But we're back and raring to go. In the last session, I don't remember. Didn't check, didn't look back on the last session to refresh my memory. I just dived straight on in. But according to this, it was another second consecutive non-points finish. Yeah, I kind of recall things got a little bit more tougher after the latest patch. But that won't stop Phoenix Knights from rising to the top. It'll just take a little bit longer perhaps. Right then, so we're pretty much as we were as we left off last time. We're soon to be getting a new wind tunnel. Test track's not too far away. We're waiting for a new gearbox in 20 days time, and we are improving the reliability of some parts. Next race, the gearbox and the rear wing are down as crucial, and therefore that's what we're focusing on. This gearbox is already at 74%, so that doesn't need any work. So we'll focus on these for at least the first 3 quarters, and then perhaps maybe just a little bit more engine work towards the back end of our time off. Other than that, we're pretty much good to go. Ooh. Clicked off the screen by mistake. Hopefully that hasn't corrupted the recording. We shall press on. Okay, so the wind tunnel has been built, which means... what does it mean? What does it mean? What does the wind tunnel provide us with? It provides us with with great front wings. Okay, okay. It's actually the test track I'm more interested in. It's the engines I want to be upgraded. All in good time. Okay, we have a new vote. The removal of the Dubai GP. Couldn't get my words out there. I actually have lots of voting power, but quite frankly, this really doesn't interest me. Although it does say this would benefit us because we apparently struggle at Dubai. Well, be that as it may, I really don't care. In fact, I quite like the track personally. And rather than removing it, we should raise our game so that we excel at it. We do not avoid a challenge, we rise to it. So we're going to abstain. Wow. People are against removing it, which is good to see. So the Dubai GP shall be here for next season. Bloody marvellous. Right, what is the next vote? No last place bonus payments. So, was it last season that this was brought in? And already they're thinking of taking it away. Well, we're not the team in 10th place, so we shouldn't really be concerned. After that, we get to vote for spec front wings, which is rather interesting. Lowest development costs could be handy for us because we are trying to catch up, and this will give us a bit more of a levelling playing field, at least for the some of the development situation. And then spec gearboxes. Wow, 2 spec parts. That would really level the playing field somewhat and really improve our chances of getting to the front of the pack quicker. But this is Formula 1. Formula 1 doesn't do spec parts, does it? No. You develop your entire vehicle. It's the pinnacle of motorsport, and I think we shall be voting against those out of principle. Anyway, we're going to power on to the race weekend pretty much. The performance work is complete, so let's see if we can now upgrade the performance of some other parts. Let's have a wee looky here. I think the parts that we have upgraded would be useful. So the engine for Sundin. The brakes maybe as well. Please tell me I had this on 20% when I started the session. I'm sure I did. Sure I did. I better have. Zurikov, he's looking at yeah, improving that. There's quite a bit of margin there for improvement. And the engine as well. Yes, that seems to be kind of reasonable. Alright. So still a few more days till the race weekend. Still a bit of work to do for the old parts. Okay, we're almost there, almost there. It's 63 and 61. 53 for the gearbox. I think... Oh... It's been such a damn chore improving these cars. The races have come so thick and fast, it's been difficult for us to improve the reliability, which is hence why we're eagerly awaiting the arrival of our level 3 factory. A couple more days. Right, that'll do. Literally that will have to do. So this should now be what, 67 and 65, and then we'll just focus on purely the gearbox to get that up to about 65%, and then we should be cooking with gas. Yeah. Come on, come on. Headquarters, despite the fact that we have a new building, hasn't really moved up too much. We've got a long way to go. Okay, so race weekend is here, the Black Sea. We remember this place from our European Racing Series days. Just one last check on the vehicles. 82. Wow, that jumped up quite a bit. Alright, that's good. That's very good, in fact. So 61, 63, 65, 82 there. Nice little boost. Rear wing 65. The suspension is the weakest part at 58 in terms of reliability on the Zurikov's car. Sundin's 74 gearbox, nice and high-ish. A couple of 58s. Hers seems to be a little bit more worse for wear. Right, there's going to be no meet the team. It's been so long that I just want to dive into the race as quickly as possible, so let's do just that. 13th or above, it's going to have to be. And look at that, a potentially rain-shod qualifying, which could, fingers crossed, mean that we may qualify higher than usual if we play our cards right and get the strategy spot on. Tyre selection, as we've seen, I do recall, even though it has been a while, I do recall that we have struggled to get the softer compounds to last in the race distances, and therefore harder compounds completely are not out of the question in terms of a viable strategy. So yes, we still want most soft tyres, but I don't think having a few alternatives available is unreasonable. So I think 6, 5 and 4 seems to be a decent spread to me. Well, how about 7, 5, 3? Seems probably a bit better. No, I think 6, 5, 4 is better. I can't make my mind up, because you've got to take into consideration practice. If at the practice stage we determine that we are going to use the hard tyres in the race for whatever reason, then we'll at least have to practice on a set. So, and then, yeah, that's fine. So it's also important to understand how many laps are in the race. There's 20 laps in the race, and tyre wear is very high. So I've got to take that forward to practice, see how many laps the tyres can do, and plan my strategy from the practice session. That's the key. Not turn up at the race day and think, oh bloody, I'll have to use hard tyres today. Get the strategy perfected in the practice and practice on the appropriate tyres that we're going to use in the race. That is going to hopefully help us going forward. So very high tyre wear, 20 laps. I'm going to go into practice and I shall see you for qualifying. Alright, so the practice session is done and I'll show you what I have planned to do in the race. Sundin with the slowest time. Doesn't fill you with much confidence, does it? Now apparently there's rain in the air, according to the weather forecast, although it seems to be rather sunny right now. But the rain is coming pretty quickly, like in 3 minutes. So if we can get a hot lap in ASAP, we might be okay. Right, first things first is we've done a little bit of weight stripping. Not utilised it before because we haven't had the reliability. We still don't really have the reliability, but I'm just going to try it out. Bit of weight stripping. Yes. What I did is I stripped the reliability of the front wing for Sundin. It was at 65%, now down to 60%. And I stripped the reliability of the front wing for Surikov down from 65 to 60. And I took a couple of clicks, I think, off the reliability of the crucial part. Because it was up at 80 something, wasn't it? Because of the fact that we developed it, the reliability right at the back end of the of our off time. So a couple of clicks down in reliability there, one click down there, so we've lost 15% but gained 45 performance points. Only 15 with Sundin. So I thought I'd give that a whirl, see how that goes. In terms of the strategies, we'll go with the car setups first of all. Sundin, bearing in mind it is a 20 lap race, we are looking at a dry race, I think. In terms of the strategy for the race for Sundin, I am going to be doing a two-stopper using medium tyres. So that's 3 sets of medium tyres, should get us through. We might be able to squeeze a soft set in, maybe possibly if we stretch these, but it's going to be at least 3 sets of mediums for a two-stopper, sort of 7 lap stints. But for qualifying, of course, it's just the soft tyres. For the race, for Surikov, who is a bit more conservative on his tyres than Sundin is, he can eke out with a hard compound 10 to 12 laps. So he can do a one-stopper if we use 2 sets of hards. So I'm going to try that with Surikov. Can't quite stretch to 2 stops with this. We might be able to get away with a medium and a hard. But what we'll do is we'll use the hard compound first, see where we stand in terms of the number of laps left, and if necessary we could go to a medium for the second stint. But we are going to be one stopping with Surikov, 2 with Sundin. That is the race, of course, not qualifying. For qualifying, we're going for the qualifying trim, which we've got 10%, and we might as well try the soft tyres at some point if we can. Only 5%, didn't get time to use them all. Right, if we... trying to think, if we go out as quickly as possible and do a lap, will we get to do the second hot lap before it starts to rain? I'd say so. But we've got to get out sharpish. And then hope it rains and hope it stays wet for the rest of the session. But I've got a feeling it's going to dry at the back end, unfortunately. But we can't take the risk, so we're going to have to go out ASAP with both Sundin and Surikov and hope that we get a decent time and that the session stays wet for its entirety after that. But it looks like, looking though, after about 6 minutes it's going to start to dry again, isn't it? This could be just a wasted lap, really. This could be a wasted lap because we're going to do half of the hot lap whilst it's damp. Never mind. It's a shame, isn't it? If it could have just stayed wet for the entirety of the rest of this session, we'd have been out now, got our quick lap in, and we'd be on pole near enough, wouldn't we? But no. Had to dry out. Oh, look at that. It's going to be bone dry again. Right, here we are. Coming around for their hot laps. Looks like the bowl not even in clear track here. Not even in clear track. Car's getting in the damn way. Sundin's alright. She's going to be setting the pace. In fact, De Oster, how's he already set a time? How's he already set a time? Answer me that. We went out first. Anyway, here comes Sundin across the line. The rain is coming down. It's damp. It still should be okay for our tyres. And as soon as we went out when the track was dry, we should be in the driving seat so far. I don't see a lot of people beating our times. 1:15.6. Really? We're almost 3 seconds slower. How? How is this possible? I'm perplexed here. Very perplexed. That's not good, is it? Now the track is getting a little bit... Oh, whoa, wait a second, Let's pause this a minute. Let's pause this. It's going to rain at the... it's going to stay dry for a very short while after 6 minutes, and it's going to absolutely hammer it down with 3 minutes to go. I'm kind of perplexed here because we went out very early, which means that we had the most amount of time on the track when it was dry. So we were in the prime position. All these cars that got times after us drove around the track when it was a little bit wetter than it was for us. Yet they managed to still put in times that were like 3 seconds faster. That really is quite frightening. Because if it was an absolutely dry track, then we'd be even further behind, surely, than that. I mean, what on earth is going on? We can't be that bad. I don't think there's any point in us doing another lap. I'm going to try and time it so we get out as the track is just drying. So I think we need to go out. Not quite yet. Just when the track begins to dry. 6 minutes to 4 minutes. I think round about now. So we should be on a hot lap as the track is just reaching its dry peak again. And see if we can beat that time, because I'm a little bit flabbergasted that we're so slow. I'm going to delay Sirikov for a little bit. There we go. Just in case I've timed it wrong with Sundin, at least we can try and get Sirikov out a little bit later. Because it's actually going to go from dry to damp pretty quickly. So you've got to just time it just to perfection here. Although, as I said, I just don't think we're going to beat our previous time. Okay, so here we go. Sundin once again finds herself in clear air. I think we might have timed this a little bit too late, actually. Sirikov is going to be even worse off. We want to be just crossing the line now, don't we? If we just crossed the line now, we would have had a bone-dry track near enough, and we could have made it count. Oh no, come on, quickly, come on Sundin, come on, come on. She might get half a lap of dry. Sirikov is screwed. Surikov is definitely screwed, but here's Sundin. The track is bone dry. It's bone dry. It's going to be bone dry for at least 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Just put in a blistering first sector on a bone dry track. She's still a second slower, but she's up on her previous best. The track is now going to get wet pretty quickly. There we go. It's going to get wet pretty quickly. It's damp, it's damp, it's damp. Second sector, she's still quicker. She's still quicker. If she can just get across the line before it absolutely teams it down, she might improve her time slightly. It's getting very wet very quickly. We've timed it a little bit too late. She's 1/10 slower than her previous best. Surikov 3/10 slower than his previous best. But hey ho, hey ho. Previously we've been qualifying round at about 15th positions, 15th down around about there. 11th and 12th. It's a slight improvement. It's not as high as I was hoping to get, but it's a slight improvement. Right, there's no chance of anybody getting a better time now. The track is far too wet, so we just have to fast forward to the end of the session. But yeah, it's only the, what, is it the 5th race of the season? And already the other cars are really, really out-developing us at the moment, I think. I've got a feeling by the end of this season we're going to be bringing up the rear. Welcome to life in the top echelon of motorsport. It's a cutthroat business and it's a damn hard grind. There's no mercy for the minnows. If we get any points in this race, it'd be a minor miracle. What do you know? Steinman on pole, what a shock. Although good old Chapman there, good old Chapman up into second place for Panther. We don't need to see this. It's not bad. 12 and 13. Oh, what? Looks like somebody pipped us somewhere along the lines. I thought we were 11th and 12th, but somebody may got a faster time somehow right at the back end of the session, which beggars belief because the track was bloody near enough wet. And it's a bright, bright, sunshiny day for the race, which doesn't bode well. The temperatures aren't very high though, which is kind of an issue when we're using the hardest compound with Surikov. Because it's going to be hard for him to get heat into those tyres. You're going to have to push the tyres to get the heat in, but if he pushes the tyres it's going to affect his tyre wear, which is also going to affect if he can one stop. I tell you, it's a complicated affair. Right. Starting with Sundin, she's going to start out on the medium tyres with race trim. Medium tyres for her first stint. And, oh, bloody hellfire. I completely forgot that we can't one stop in this series, can we? Because our bloody fuel tank doesn't allow us to. I was getting confused with the previous series, the Asia Pacific Cup, where we had 80% fuel tanks. We got a two-stop, which makes us practicing on the hard tyre completely and utterly null and void. Good old Potter strikes again. Right, I think we'll do 6 laps with Sundin then. Because she hasn't got quite as good tyre wear, but she's still using the medium tyre. Surikov, seeing as we no point of using the hard tyre, because he can actually quite happily do 7 laps on a set of mediums, but he could also do 7 laps on a set of softs. So I think what we'll do is we'll go for the long stint on the mediums with Surikov, and then we shall go for 2 sets of softs for the second 2 stints. So medium soft for Surikov, probably medium soft possibly for Sundin. Full tank. So I've screwed up again. Despite my best efforts to try and get the strategy right today, I've completely screwed up because I forgot about the fuel tanks. Put barely no practicing with the soft tyres. Practice on the harder compound, which was no need to do. What can you do when Potter gets it wrong? You're going to be using 2 sets of softs, so we'll go for the softs and the race trim. Right, well, seeing as we've screwed up a little bit with the strategy, I'm not holding my breath at all for this race. We could have prepared better. We'll get it right eventually, don't worry. And we're off and racing here at the Black Sea as Sundin and Surikov stay roughly where they were on the grid, although Sundin is up into 10th position, battling side by side with Surikov as they come around now to the sharp right hand bend, and Sundin is up into 9th, which is where she stayed, and Surikov has fallen back to 14th. Both drivers, of course, on the medium compound will remain pushing for the time being to get the heat into the tyres. We're just going to be careful with our car parts, of course. Still a little bit of a reliability issue, but Sundin up into 8th and looking good at the end of the first lap. If we can just maintain a decent pace, you never know, we may squeak into the point somehow, some way, by some minor miracle. That's all we ask. 2 back-to-back pointless finishes. We'd like to get some points on the board today if we can, and Sundin is doing pretty well. Everyone pushing the engines. Sundin continuing, of course, to push the engine. Here she comes. Of course, our condition on the engine isn't marvellous, so we can't afford to push too long. So we're just going to turn it down now to high and high, and go from there. Surikov down into 15th place. He's not having a good time. He's getting passed on the outside by De Graaf, who I think is probably qualified a little bit lower than usual due to the weather of in the qualifying session. And Surikov finds himself now in 17th position. He is dropping backwards at an alarming rate. On the other hand, Sundin is reliving the form of seasons gone by. Thundering Sundin, showing her pace, showing her skill. Can she make it last? Time will tell. People are now turning down their tyre pushing, turning down the engines. 58% on the engine, 3 laps gone. I think we're going to have to do the same. It's a war of attrition as well as outright pace. So Sundin is coming in first. We shall follow Sundin for the time being. De Wolf is pushing his tyres to the limits here, and his engine is on push as well. But it's fine. They'll have to turn it down eventually. Sundin maintaining track position in 8th place. She's clinging on for dear life. She's not streaking away by any stretch of the imagination. Meanwhile, Surikov is down in 16th. But we just can't prize ourselves away from this, as Sundin is now overtaken on the outside by De Wolf, who is scything through the field after a poor qualifying. I thought he was out of position. And Sundin is passed again, like just taking candy from a baby, just swept around and put his foot down and made it look like she was stationary. God, how we long for a better car. We'll get there. As already we're on lap 5. Where has the time gone? How long are these laps? These laps are not too long. About 1 minute 20, 1 minute 19, 1 minute 20, 1 minute 22 for us slowies. As Sundin is still in the points, so all is not lost. Although her tyres are already at 28%. Yeah. once again, tyre wear issues do come into play. The tyres are not doing... It's probably because we've pushed them too hard. Is it just me? I don't know. Is it this tyre wear situation just doesn't seem to rack up? Medium tyres can do 6 to 8 laps. She's barely done 5. There's no way she can do another lap. There's no way she can do another lap. Right. So she's going to have to... we'll go another medium stint for now. Try and see if we can get as much laps out of that as possible. We'd have to go to lap 13, really, to get across the line without doing 3 stops. Because we're coming in relatively early. The car parts aren't looking too rosy at this moment in time, but because of the fact that we're doing a pit stop where all the parts are fixed at the same time, we can actually fix certain parts without delaying our pit stop. Like we can fix the front wing, and it's not adding any extra time onto our pit stop because they fix the parts at the same time. So it's basically a free change of wing there. So we're going to do that. It's a free change of wing. So Sundin's coming in now. One more lap for Surikov. Somebody else is already in the pits as well, actually. Piaget. Sundin is in the pit. She's fixing the wing, but of course it doesn't matter. Shouldn't matter. Here we go. She's out. And we've got to put her on medium here because she's got to make these tyres last as long as possible. And in the meantime, we shall switch to Surikov, who will be pitting at the end of this lap. We'll go for another set of mediums for him. See if we can stretch these out. And then do a soft stint at the end. And again, can we get any free pit fixes here? The wing isn't too bad, but it's a free fix, so we'll fix it now and we'll assess at the second stop what other parts need to be fixed. Did I change his tyres? Did I change his tyres? I think I did. but I'm going to make sure. Right, sorry guys. I'm having a bad session today. Right. So here comes Surikov. He's in 13th. People are pitting all around him. The frightening thing is they're on the soft compound. We were on the medium. We should have made these last a bit longer, but never mind. So Surikov's in. He's fixing his wing. At the same time he's fixing his tyres and everything else. He gets out. He's on the medium compound tyre. Medium. Where's Sundin? Here she goes. There she blows. She's up into 14th position. There are a few other people to pit that's ahead of her, but I don't think she's going to be in the points when all the pit stops have shaken themselves up somehow. Yeah, track temperatures aren't very high at all, so... But the tyre wear for the circuit was down as very high, so that's probably why. 2 people are fixing parts. Depends what parts they're fixing as to how long they're going to spend in the pits. Sundin's going by here. She's going by. She's up into 12th. She's up into 11th. It's tight. It's very tight. She can't even afford to push the engine because we're struggling to get the car across the line in 2 stops due to the small fuel tanks and her early stop. Here's Surikov beginning to make gains. He's in 14th. He's defending. Bit of a train forming behind him. He's got Lundqvist, Sharp and Oster all hungry to pass. He can afford to push his car a little bit with the engine. Although the car car condition might say otherwise. Just try and get a little bit of a breathing room here, if we can. He's actually catching Sundin. So Sundin's in 13th, Surikov is in 14th, and in the grand scheme of things, in a car that is the second worst on the grid, this is not horrendous, really. This is not horrendous. We are scrapping in a kind of way, kind of scrapping for points. But this is where we should be. We shouldn't be up in the top 5, the top 6, the top 10 with a car that's so poor. Unless there's a real strategic piece of genius in variable weather conditions. So this is really where we should be performing. So it makes complete and utter sense. It's not pleasant viewing. It's quite depressing considering we've won 2 championships on the spin and we're used to victory. But this is the big leagues. Right, Surikov, he's still doing well. He still is keeping those cars behind him. Just a couple of retirements. A couple of bad pit stops, you never know. We may drop lucky. Just keep plugging away, keep soldering on. I think the car condition is going to be okay with Sundin to the end of the race, as long as we don't push too hard. I think similarly with Surikov, there'll be some flashing lights at the end, but we shouldn't retire. We should be alright. Temperatures of the tyres are beginning to drop. We're going to have to get some heat into these. It is a cold day, so we're going to have to work these tyres as much as it's paining us, because Sundin has to do one more lap before she comes in, and her tyres are absolutely knackered. She's going to do a full lap with the red tyres here, which is far from ideal. Surikov is going to go high and attack. Her tyres, she's moaning they're worn. We agree they are, but you've got to do one more lap purely because there's no other choice. Right, after this there'll be 9 laps to go now. That's not right, is it? What lap are we on? Dear, oh dear. Lap 12, so she's coming in to be lap 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. She's going to have to go a hard stint, and she's going to have to fuel this car to the end, and she's going to have to conserve fuel because we're still a lap short. Marvellous. Oh, that needs fixing. As does that. That adds too much time. That adds too much time. That adds 2 extra seconds. Probably can get away with that one. But that's a free... if we fix that, that's a free repair. That's a free repair, really, but that should be fine. Alright. Oh, this is... I don't know if it's because I'm rusty, but this is... it just seems to be an absolutely catastrophic session here. Forgot about the size of the fuel tanks, which has impacted upon my pre-race preparations. And ultimately, in the race, it's not gone too swimmingly either, as Sundin struggling on the tyres now, losing lots of time to her teammate, who's got one more lap to do. She's now slowing him down. We should have probably asked her to let him past. But she's going to peel off into the pits right about now for her final stop, as Surikov does one more lap. He will then come in for his stop. He will have 7 laps to do. Pushing it on soft tyres? It's too much of a risk. We'll go medium again. We've got to fuel the car up to the maximum pretty much. Park condition. Yeah, that's going to have to go. That's going to have to go. That'll give him an extra 2 seconds. 39% with 7 laps to go. It is touch and go. He's got loads of cars behind him. An extra 2 seconds in the pits could be the difference. So we're going to risk it. We're going to risk keeping him out without repairing the suspension. Thunder is out in 18th position now. She's on the hard tyre for her final stop. And she's her fuel load. It's going to have to go into low for the time being. 18, she's there. She crosses the line. It'll be her. So she crosses the line. She'll be on lap 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 27 laps. Okay, she's on excess fuel. That's fine. She's fine. Right, so here's Sirikov putting on the medium tyres. He's now going to leapfrog Sundin, I think. Or is he? It's going to be touch and go here. It's going to be touch and go. Aye! It is touch and go. He's just about leapfrogged. He's up into 15th place. He's got excess fuel. He can push, but the car condition says that he can't. He can probably push the tyres eventually. We're just not quite yet. So we're now 15th and 18th. Spiffing marvellous. I'm going to turn this speed up here because I don't perceive anything massively exciting happening from this point forward. Oh, look at his suspension. Suspension looking a bit ropey. Just slow things down. I can't cope with this quicker speed nonsense. Too much going on. Right, here we go. So we've got a car ahead of us that actually is looking worse for wear in terms of their car parts. Flashing danger here for Sharp, and there's still quite a few laps to go. Is she going to make it to the end? Get a bit of heat into these tyres for half a lap or so. As Sirikov in 15th place is just being challenged by Blanc here in the Thornton. Got a few more pits up ahead, but they're well ahead of us. Well ahead. I don't think Zoe Sharp is making it to the end of this race. Oh, she is. She's pitting and taking a repair. At least she won't be retiring. Moves Sirikov up to 14th position. Engine, suspension, gearbox, front wing. I did say that the parts will be looking a little bit ropey at the end. There'll be some flashing lights, but I don't anticipate there being a failure. His car's a little bit better. Still not good enough to push though. Unless we're lapped, which it's likely this to happen actually. That would be a good benefit for us because we've got one less lap to do. So Sirikov is managing to stay ahead of the Thornton of Blanc. Unfortunately the sponsor objective is 13th and we're one place off that. If we can just somehow pray for a miracle that somebody somewhere retires or does something, crashes into a barrier maybe, that would be nice. Sundin cruising around in 16th place on the harder tyres. She's, to be quite honest with you, she hasn't done too shabbily really, considering she came in really early for her first stop. Second stop, she drove around a lap on very heavily depleted tyres. But she's still only finishing a couple of seconds behind Surikov, who's had a car that's been weight stripped for better performance. He's supposedly a better driver, and arguably had the better strategy today, and still hasn't really managed to massively outperform her. And yes, a minor miracle has happened. There's black smoke. It's Flores. He's out. He's out of the race, and we just eke into our sponsorship objective of 13th or above. We haven't been lapped, unfortunately. In fact, Surikov, no, Sundin has just been lapped, so Sundin's race is now over, as is the Thornton of Blanc's. So Surikov can't finish any lower than 13th. So he just has to bring this car round in one piece. Although 12th place Lundqvist, we are catching. We'll just keep going, just in case he's running out of fuel, just in case he's conserving. What is he doing? He's conserving his tyres. You know what? Bugger it. Let's go for it. Come on. Come on. Put the pressure on him. Come on. Come on. Are we catching? Yeah, it's too late. Maybe if he pushed a bit sooner and realised, we might have been able to put some pressure on him there, but never mind. Oh, look at that! Harry Chapman's won the race. Good on you, Chapman. A.k.a. Lewis Hamilton. Now driving for Panther, a.k.a. Red Bull. What a strange affair. Right, so there we go. 13th place finish with Surikov. And 15th with Sundin. Again, we're out of the points. Double non-points finish. And the strategies weren't ideal. I will certainly remember for the next session about the size of the fuel tanks. But ultimately, 13th in such a poor car. I think that should be really a relatively good result, to be quite honest with you. Sundin's 15th, yeah. Still better than sort of, we predicted to come 18th, 17th, 16th, around 15th is, I think, definitely the borderline. I think any lower than 15th I'd be disappointed. I think 15th is the absolute cut-off. Anything above 15th is good. Anything above sort of 12th to 10th would be excellent. Round about 12th, 13th, 14th is what I would consider to be a satisfying performance. Given our car's quality, I think we have to readjust our sights and be realistic. I think a points finish, top 10 finish is going to be rare. When there's a crash or two, when there's some variable weather, which could happen, of course. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. But all we can do is keep developing our car as quickly as possible. That's all we can keep doing, and we still remain in 5th position in the constructors. I think we're going to finish at 6th by the end of this, unless Risata Corsa gets some freakish results. And finishing 6th position in your first season, that would be definitely a positive outcome. So no change for Sundin, who's 32 and has reached the peak of her powers. Surikov increasing slightly. But if you remember rightly, I mean, he's got so many issues as this man. He's been burgled, he's an embezzler, he's feeling blue. He's not having a good time. Not a good transition to his new team. So when he finally picks himself up off the floor, he may just show us his true ability. Because I think at the moment we haven't seen it. Alright. Interview? Nah, thanks. You're alright. So there we go. Next race, apparently, is going to be in Munich, Germany. And look at that. Variable weather, perhaps. Smattering of rain in qualifying. A shower or two in the race. Ooh, maybe, just maybe, we might be able to capitalise. Because we're going to need some assistance by the looks of it. Anyway, join me in the next session to see if we can scrape some points somehow from somewhere, some way. Until then, see you soon.